Welcome to the Bad Mom Show, balanced and disciplined, mom on a mission. My name is Kristi Vaccaro, and I am your host, the Bad Mom. I am here to help you reclaim your confidence through macros and weightlifting, all while removing the mom guilt of taking care of you first. Please stick around for the latest in fitness, nutrition, and motherhood mindset. Let's do this. What's up, guys? My name is Kristi Vaccaro. I'm a wife, mom of two crazy awesome boys, two pitties. I am covered in tattoos and passionate about jiu-jitsu, weightlifting, and helping you reclaim your confidence through weightlifting and macros. Today, you guys voted. We're going to discuss the best diet to follow. I'm sure if you guys follow me, you're already like, Kristi, what are you talking about? You don't do the diets. And you right. We don't do diets. We do macros. We do flexible nutrition, but we're going to talk diets. And the best one for you to follow because macros might not be for you, right? So what is the best diet to follow? And the way that I would describe that is the one that you will be healthiest, happiest, and able to stick to for life. Ugh, that sounds like an eternity. Well, hopefully it is. The problem right now, and the problem that we've had for as long as I've been alive, is that we are always looking for that quick fix, that answer, that easy to grab and do and get the results fast. I mean, look at how Amazon has spoiled us. Look at how the internet has spoiled us, right? Like, we can literally have things at our fingertips that we want delivered. Grubhub and all of these grocery delivery services. I mean, we're really spoiled. So it's no wonder when you're like, I want weight loss, that we're like, what's the fastest way to get weight loss, right? But we all know that the quick fix in terms of weight loss is not the right answer. And I've had probably a half dozen conversations this week alone with people who want change. They want weight loss. They want body composition change. And the diet that they're choosing to do, they know and admit that I shouldn't be doing this. So we're going to review the most common diets of the people that, whether they consult with me, they sign up to work with me, they've done in the past, current clients, all that. The ones that continuously show up in our conversations. So number one, I'm going to talk about Optavia. I'm not going to go into these very far because you guys can Google them if you want. And many of you know them. Some of you may have tried all of these things. This is not, I hate disclaimers, but I'm just going to say it. This is not to make anyone feel bad. If you've tried this, maybe you're trying it right now. This isn't to shame you or tell you that you're an awful, terrible person because you do Optavia. This is just my experience 14 years in to fitness and nutrition coaching. I've worked with hundreds, if not 1,000 different people at this point. And it's just the reoccurring themes that keep showing up. So Optavia, you get your meals delivered to you. It sounds great. I love a meal prep service, but unfortunately the meals that you're getting delivered aren't the best and the calories are very low. I've seen my clients. I had a personal training client who I think she was on like 800 calorie Optavia plan. And then the goal was to like bump her up to like 1100. But the food is kind of like, I forget what the other one was. Not South Beach. Nutrisystem. I was like, I remember my parents used to get Nutrisystem, and I'm like, are you guys eating cardboard? Like, what is this? Is this real food? It's like powder. I don't know. Anyways, so the food isn't the best, and the calories are extremely low. It's also pricey from what I hear, and it's not sustainable. Here's the problem. People that do this, it's so restrictive, you're going to get results, right? That's what we want. We want results. But then you realize it's not sustainable, or you start getting cravings, or you want to work some other things in. So you do, and then you fall off the wagon. And when you're ready to come back, do something because you can't take it anymore. You're like, what should I do? What worked for me in the past? And you go back to it. Hence the phrase yo-yo dieting, right? You do the thing, you lose the weight, you gain the weight back because the thing you were doing wasn't sustainable, but you really want to get back, so then you just do what you did before. We can't do that anymore, guys. Like, if you know in your gut that it is not sustainable, the method that you're using to lose weight or change your body composition, we can't keep doing that. I got to talk you off the ledge. That's what I'm here to do today. Another one I talked with a previous client about this week was the OMAD diet, the 1 meal a day. Let's discuss that. So I want to ask the audience, which I can't, why do we think 1 meal a day is not the best and most sustainable method? Well, regardless, this is kind of my beef with intermittent fasting as well. If you're intermittent fasting or you're doing 1 meal a day, how are you going to hit your protein and fiber goals? I'm not even talking about fats and carbs right now. How are you going to hit your protein goal in 1 meal a day? You're telling me that you struggle hitting 100 grams of protein in an entire day. Now we're going to bring it down to 1 meal a day and you're going to hit 100 grams of protein. Are you kidding me? No shot in hell that you're going to be able to do that. It's not going to happen. So now we're talking about you're definitely not hitting your protein goals. There's no way you're hitting 25 grams of fiber in 1 meal unless you're eating like the extreme wellness high fiber tortillas, which is processed, which is fine. We can have that sometimes, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to hit 25 grams of fiber through fruits and vegetables and your protein goal, which is anywhere from 100 to 180 grams of protein, man or woman, like somewhere in there. Most women are between 105 and 160 grams of protein. So you're not going to hit your protein goal. You're not going to hit your fiber goal. So now we're lacking nutrients. So I'm not even like, you're restricting yourself from nutrients that you need, that your body needs, that your brain needs, that your muscles need. I have one client who is a male client who told me he was doing 1 meal a day. He told me he was fasting and his eating window was between 4 and 7 p.m. He was getting 1 meal in. So I was like, so you're doing OMAD and fasting. He told me what he was eating. And I was like, say goodbye to any muscle tissue that you have. You're not going to be able to preserve it off of chicken, sausage, and fruit, berries. You're not. So we need to reevaluate what we're doing. I already mentioned that with fasting. There's a lot of research and data now that shows that fasting is not ideal for women. Our hormones are different than men. The problem is a lot of y'all's husbands are intermittent fasting. They're losing weight and they're like, hey babe, you should do fasting. Not having any idea the negative implications it has on female hormones. I've seen women lose hair loss, skin issues, metabolic issues. Like, it's not, keto is for certain people that have certain health conditions. Intermittent fasting works fine for some, primarily men. Like, we have to look at like us as an individual, not what the masses are doing, not what TikTok freaking says. Like, when we strip away all the bullshit, what does your body need? It needs whole foods. It needs protein. It needs fruits. It needs vegetables. It needs carbs from whole food sources. We all know this. So why are we looking for all these fancy freaking cardboard food in a box that you're overpaying for. Go to the grocery store, get protein, get vegetables, get fruit, and get some carbs and eat them in a balanced portion. I know it's like, but we don't need to restrict ourselves to one meal a day. We don't need to restrict ourselves to a little tiny eating window. We don't need to give ourselves weight loss injections that have a lot of health implications that we don't even know about yet. I know there are some people who will greatly benefit, and this is their only shot. I know way more people that have used these weight loss injections sheerly for weight loss and have not done all the other things. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Another one that I've worked with clients to help them reverse back into eating normally, HCG with the 500 calorie diet that comes with that. It very much kind of reminds me of the weight loss injections right now. Obviously different formula, but similar in that you are taking something and eating very minimally, restricting. I get it, guys. Like, these things become addicting. You get addicted to the results, but then you realize you can't sustain it, and then you want the results again, so you recommit. But I promise you there is a better way. I promise you. When I first got into fitness, my nutritional patterns were decent, but I had some really unhealthy habits. I was very, very restrictive during the week with the types of foods that I would eat. I definitely tried keto. I definitely tried a 1,200 calorie diet. I even had a coach that had me on all of that. And then I would binge eat on the weekends, oftentimes making myself throw up because I was so afraid of food that wasn't this like super restricted food. And I just didn't understand my body yet and what our bodies needed. I was very new into fitness. That's why education is power. Knowledge is power. And that is what macro tracking did for me. I think sometimes when we look at macro tracking, we can look at it like, well, that's disordered. You're really going to weigh every gram that you're going to eat. Yeah, at first I am. I'm going to learn a shit ton about food and how much I've been eating, period. And then I have freedom because I understand what is in all these foods that I'm eating. I'm actually reading labels. I'm understanding ingredient lists. I'm understanding how to read the food labels. Like, why would you want to blindly go through life eating and have no idea, like what is in your food or how to read the food label? I got to a certain point where I was like, wow, I've never really looked at it like this. So taking the time to learn about macros, food labels, ingredient lists, that is so powerful for you. I encourage you to take the time to learn these tools because, God willing, you're going to live a lot longer. And so you should have full understanding of something that you're doing 3 to 6 times a day. You can look at macros in this is a really restrictive, obsessive thing, or you can look at it like, this is a really powerful, excuse me, this is a really powerful educational way for me to take control over my nutrition and my body. And oftentimes it's the opposite of restricting. I have had so many clients come to me and I look at their food logs and their calorie intake and I'm like, so we're actually going to focus on adding things in. We're going to add protein, big surprise, and we're going to add fiber, shocker. And a byproduct of doing that is going to be slowly cutting out the bullshit anyways, because you're eating more satiating food choices. You're filling up on protein. You're filling up on fruits and veggies. And a natural reaction to that is eating less crap. If you don't believe me, you should try it. So I look at it as anti-restriction. Macros completely changed my life, and that I no longer feared certain foods. I remember I used to be afraid to eat a banana and many other things, unless I was going to binge it and possibly throw it up. Or if I put it in my cheat meal, which, as you guys know, I don't do the term cheat meal. I don't prescribe cheat meals to my clients. I don't. There's no need. Food is food, guys. Like, I like to look at food as transactional and experiential. A lot of my meals are just transactional. It doesn't mean they don't taste good, but I'm not looking to get this like foodie experience, like 5-star dining every single time I eat. Like, I am eating food to fuel my body, to fuel my brain, to give me energy, to support my muscle recovery, to support my muscle building, to make my gut healthy, digestion, all that stuff. That's what I'm eating for. That's what we are eating for. We are so lucky to have so many different yummy cuisine options and foods readily available. But every single meal cannot be this experiential foodie ooh la la. It's like, guys, if we're constantly operating out of wants, we're not going to get what our body needs. So think about, are you operating out of wants or operating out of needs with your current nutrition? So I would definitely encourage you all, if you haven't already, to spend a week. Give me a week of tracking your food and see if you can gain a little bit of insight into your current habits. Don't change anything. This is the first step. If you have ever worked with me or you're thinking about working with me, this is the first step of macro tracking. You got to track a week. I bare minimum 4 days to get a good idea what you're currently eating. Then you can be like, oh, damn, I'm only getting 60 grams of protein a day. No wonder I'm just constantly grazing, constantly snacking, because you're not getting enough protein. You may be like, oh, I'm only getting 4 grams of fiber. No wonder my bowel movements are off. Start getting 25 a day and let me know what happens. You'll feel fantastic. You may be like, wow, I am eating so many fats. Fats are great, but if you didn't know, fats have 9 calories per gram. Carbs have 4 calories per gram. So all of my keto-loving folks, my low-carb folks that are following low-carb or following keto but not logging, if you're not getting results, it's because fats have a lot of calories, which is fine, but you still got to log. And this is my other beef with all of these is like, you're intermittent fasting, but you're not logging what you're eating. So you have no idea if what you're eating in that time window is beneficial to your desired outcome. So either way, I have some clients who are like, I'm going to fast. I'm not going to eat until blah, blah, blah time. Okay, cool. You got to figure out how to fit all of your macros in your eating window and you're still tracking. So we could just remove the I call it like the Cinderella slipper timer. It's like as if your body is going to turn into a fucking pumpkin if you eat something past before whatever time and after whatever time. Like, it's so silly when we really think about it. Once again, not here to just shit on all these. I'm just 14 years in the game, guys. Worked with a lot of people, and the commonalities between everyone and the different diets and restrictive patterns, I can't ignore it. And so I'm here to explain hopefully a better way. And the thing with macros that's also important to remember is macro tracking and having this tool is exactly that. It is not a prison sentence. You are not meant to do it for life. I was sharing with a client earlier today how I toggle in and out of tracking and untracked seasons. I probably spend 9 months out of the year not tracking and another 3 months in the year tracking. Maybe it's 8 and 4, but at this point in my life, I've tracked enough that I use it completely as a tool that I pull out of my tool belt when I need to dial it in, sometimes just for a couple weeks at a time. And then I'll get really, really consistent. And this is the reason why it's really easy for me to go in and out of tracking, because I'm so consistent with the foods that I'm eating. I eat the same breakfast every single day for weeks at a time. I rotate through the same 3 or 4 lunches, rotate through the same 3 or 4 dinners, and I have 5 go-to snacks that I rotate. I eat the same foods because whole foods is what our body needs. And then I fit in a few fun foods, like the dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's, or the dark chocolate espresso beans, or the dried mango. Like I have my little treats. I know exactly how much of that I can fit in throughout my day without it negatively impacting my energy, my mood, or my aesthetics that I prefer. The body fat percentage I like, the weight range I prefer. So the longer you do it, the more you understand how what you eat is going to impact you, whether that is, aesthetically or how you physically feel, or a combination of both, right? So give it a shot, track for a few days, gain a baseline of understanding, and know that it's probably going to take longer to learn and understand and get with the shit. But would that be worth it? Would that be okay if you knew you never had to do another yo-yo diet again? To me, yeah. If you told me, hey, you learn about food, you learn about food labels, you learn what macros you need to feel best, and you figure out how to get really consistent with that, you'll never have to diet again. You'll never have to spend all this money on cardboard food, injections, pills, blah, 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 blah. You'll feel fantastic. Yep, sign me up. Done. That's what this is all about. I started sharing about a client earlier who was asking me about her like track season and untracked season. And she's like, I just want to understand a little bit more like what I can do right now in my untracked season to stay successful. And then what I need to do when I'm ready to, cut a little bit to be successful. And there are so many different strategies that you can apply for whatever results you're looking for. And you can just fine tune your macros a little bit. You can fine tune, your non-tracking habits, whether you're using the measuring cup method that I talk about all the time, or using a meal prep service that keeps it really, really consistent. So you don't even have to do the meal preps. Like we're so lucky now. Like 14 years ago, we didn't have all these meal prep services. Like we didn't have as much knowledge and apps and tech to make it so freaking easy to be successful. So if anything you can take away from today is to really take a hard look at the different means that you've taken to try and lose weight or change your body composition. Make a vow to yourself that you will not go back to those if they are restrictive and in your gut not healthy for you. And give tracking a shot. And if you're struggling with tracking because you look at it like it's obsessive, it's restrictive, it's this, it's that, let's work on a mindset shift. We're not doing it to restrict. We're doing it to make sure that you're getting the macronutrients and the micronutrients you need to build muscle, to have energy, and to feel and look your best. It's not a restrictive tool. So with that, I hope you found today helpful, enlightening, enjoyable of some sort. If you are not already following me, you can find me at FitLV Fitness and Nutrition or Kristi Vaccaro on Facebook. Give me an ad or a follow. Please share these episodes with your friends and family if you like them. Leave me a comment. I've really enjoyed the comments you guys have been leaving me. This is my 3rd official episode. Trying to get in a groove with it. I think I'm doing a decent job. Thank you for being here. As always, peace, love, and burpees. I'm out.